Angel Reese just became the first professional athlete to become a Victoria's Secret angel. And this not only reflects the fact that Victoria's Secret has committed to changing the idea of beauty standards, especially when you look at the rest of the models in the fashion show, it also shows how quickly the rise of women's sports, when we look at the commercial value of them, has gone on to affect the culture as well as the perception of women in the marketplace so quickly. If you live under a rock, Angel Reese is one of the most talked about players in the WNBA. And even before she joined the league, she was a large part of making women's basketball even more popular. When we look at this large boom in viewership and commercial value that we've seen when it comes to women's basketball, not only in the WNBA, but also in college basketball, a lot of that stems back to Angel's run with LSU and their rivalry with Iowa led by Caitlin Clark. A lot of people, I think, like to cut Angel Reese out of the narrative of what made the WNBA have such a popularity boom. But there wouldn't have been a Caitlin Clark story without her, and Angel Reese was actually the one to lead her team to a championship. And so that being said, watching Angel Reese get her Victoria's Secret wings was really exciting, especially when you look at what Victoria's Secret said their goal was. They wanted to use this year's fashion show to say that sexy was not just one type of person. And Angel was not the only athlete present at the runway show. Suni Lee, the Olympic gold medalist, also walked during the fashion show for pink. And ironically, choosing these two athletes to walk in the fashion show really showed a massive spectrum of not only what women can look like, but what female athletes look like. The photo of the two of them in their robes actually shows this crazy height difference. But I think what's important about seeing Angel included is that it points towards this overall shift that we've been seeing in the last 2 years of saying that femininity and athleticism do not have to be mutually exclusive, that you can have a body that can power you through a WNBA season and also be this icon of sexiness when it comes to being a Victoria's Secret angel. I will say that it was quite disheartening to see a lot of women talking about Angel Reese in a way that they felt that this was a negative choice, that she didn't belong in this show, specifically the women that said her body was too attainable, which is just mind-blowing to me because, again, she is a professional athlete. It's attainable, sure, if you have the ability, skill, drive, and passion of being a professional athlete full-time. And of course, if you were born with the face of God's favorite. But even putting the negativity aside, I hope what we see from this overall is this shift, because we do know that young girls stop playing sports more often than boys do. And oftentimes there is this conversation of young girls feeling like if they continue getting bulky, if they continue working out, if they continue playing sports, they can't be girly, they can't be feminine. I really feel like this is a big turning point. Watching professional athletes walk the Victoria's Secret fashion show tells young women that there is not a mutually exclusive thing here, and it's one less reason for young women and girls to stop playing sports. I think Angel Reese walking down that runway with those wings on, talking about it unabashedly and addressing the commentary, really continues to push that forward, and really continues to tell women and everyone else that sexy can be more than one thing, and that more than one thing can be strong. Overall, do you feel like the Victoria's Secret fashion show and women's sports in general are starting to shift your perception of beauty? And how cool was it to watch Angel Reese, only a second-year WNBA player, walk down that runway?